16 memorable celebrity plastic surgeries. 16. Kylie Jenner. One of the more recent and well-known instances of celebrity plastic surgeries goes to the youngest sibling of the Kardashian-Jenner clan, Kylie Jenner. When it came to her fuller lips and much more accentuated curves, she explained that it was all the kind of lipstick she used and special creams, which most people didn't believe for a second. Still a teenager, many were taken aback when it finally came out that she had at least some sort of work done. For her frequent use of social media platforms like Instagram and Snapchat, getting away from Kylie Jenner's changing looks was impossible, which probably also accounted for the amount of scrutiny she got for it. 15. Kenny Rogers. This famous singer is part of the Country Music Hall of Fame, and also another celebrity who went down the Botox route. He is, after all, 78 years old. And plastic surgery for older people is just as common as it is for people who are much younger. After what many considered an eye lift gone wrong, the country musician had to walk around with eyes that appeared more wide awake than usual. 14. Heidi Montag. When she first started to become a more well-known name in certain circles of Hollywood, reality star Heidi Montag came onto the scene looking more girl next door than what she does now, a decade later. Just one look at Montag and it's clear she's had work done on different parts of her body. It's clear now that that was the case anyway. For a while, the work was subtle, and it wasn't until you compare pictures taken years apart do you see just how much she's changed. 13. Ashley Simpson. After word of Ashley Simpson getting plastic surgery started circulating when she first rose to fame, Simpson denied them right away. And it seems she didn't really have any plastic surgery, at least not then, because then a few years later, she appeared on the scene with a new nose and then readily admitted she finally did get plastic surgery. It happened around the same time she began a relationship with now ex-husband Pete Wentz of Fall Out Boy fame. What's interesting is that many say she looks more like her famous sister, Jessica Simpson, after the surgery than she did before. 12. Lara Flynn Boyle. Fans of the actress were shocked in recent years when it was clear actress of Twin Peaks fame, Lara Flynn Boyle, had apparently gone through some sort of plastic surgery on her face. While she hasn't exactly been the most popular actress in Hollywood ever since her career dwindled down after the 90s, the way she used to look is recognized by many from the cult classic TV show. 11. Farrah Abraham. Unless you're up to date with the latest news and reality shows, most people might not even recognize Farrah Abraham, one of the stars of the MTV reality series Teen Mom OG. She first rose to her niche of fame in 2009. After having plastic surgery done on her nose, chin, and lips, the young mother looks much different than she did, all before the age of 25. 10. Renee Zellweger. This is one of those cases where everyone is convinced so-and-so celebrity got plastic surgery, in which the celebrity themselves vehemently denies. Whether you believe Renee Zellweger got any work done or that her new looks are, as according to Zellweger herself, are attributed to a healthier and happier lifestyle, the Bridget Jones actress stands by the claim that she did not make a decision to alter her face. Of course, there are plastic surgery experts and plastic surgeons coming out of the woodwork to oppose her claim, saying she at least had some sort of eye lift done, if not something to do with her lips too. 9. Courtney Cox. When it comes to older celebrities who have been in the entertainment industry for a long time, it's either really clear they underwent some sort of plastic surgery, or it's easy to point the finger at it just being the result of aging. But after all the talk of plastic surgery, 52-year-old actress Courtney Cox finally admitted in 2015 that, yes, she did have work done. And with her new puffy cheeks and smaller eyes, lots of her fans were already fully convinced and didn't need any telling to. It's much rarer than many realize for a celebrity to even admit to having any work done at all. 8. Mickey Rourke. It goes without saying that if you're in the entertainment industry, most especially as an actor, your looks take up a significant portion of your career. That goes for men and women alike, as Mickey Rourke came to find. In addition to being an actor, Rourke also participates in the sport of boxing, as well as has a history of using lots of drugs and drinking lots of alcohol. Those things coupled together all were to blame for those dramatic changes in his face, something that also dramatically changed his career from then on. What were described as botched surgeries were to blame for the new face Rourke walked around with in the years following. But in 2014, there were reports he was rebuilding his face, as the actor, by then was 62 years old, started to look like his old self again. 7. Priscilla Presley. While Priscilla Presley has been up to her own thing for decades now, there's no denying that most of her fame came from having been romantically involved with American rock and roll icon Elvis Presley when she was only 14 years old, and then eventually marrying him. That being said, from a very young age, Priscilla is most well known for being pretty. And like many celebrities, young or old, she's had some plastic surgery done. At 71 years old, despite getting mixed reception for her plastic surgery, you have to admit she doesn't look as old as she is. 6. Vince Neil. Unlike lots of plastic surgery stories, Vince Neil's has to be one of the few where he didn't get overly criticized for it, nor does it appear to have been botched. The vocalist for the band of Motley Crue seemed to go one of two ways aging rock stars often go. All the years of partying and drugs catches up to them in their appearance. Or they still look more or less the same, just a little older. The 56-year-old seems to fall under the less drastic direction, having had his cheeks lifted, brows lifted, and even a nose job done. While the musician is clearly older, many say Neil didn't really need a facelift. But he got one anyway, and for all the world to see too, documenting the whole process to air on VH1. 5. Lil' Kim. Though the Grammy Award-winning artist hasn't made the same kind of splash in pop culture she used to in her younger days, in terms of her music, she's still making headlines for her appearance, which, as of late, has veered in the dramatically different. Her hair has gone from her more usual dark locks to blonde, and her skin is much visibly lighter, with work done around her eyes as well. Now, she's been known to change her look frequently, but the changes as of late have made many wonder what is going on. 4. The Duchess of Alba. The Duchess of Alba was not only famous for merely just being royalty. As the head of the House of Alba until her passing in 2014, at the age of 88, Cayetana Fitz-James Stewart was also famous for her eccentric ways and rather scandalous marriages. The Spanish Duchess was once considered quite the beauty when she was much younger. As she grew older, the public started to notice more and more drastic changes in her facial features, all things indicative of having work done. The result gave her very large lips and much smaller eyes, so much so that she became nearly unrecognizable for the famous beauty she once was. 3. Pete Burns. The frontman for the 80s band Dead or Alive has to have had one of the most dramatic changes via plastic surgery any celebrity has ever had. Pete Burns was known for his often androgynous looks and fluid sexuality, a reputation that also intermingled with his drastic appearances. Some of the modifications Pete Burns was known to have underwent include cheek implants, tattoos, numerous rhinoplasties, and as well as clear injections to his lips. Nevertheless, after his death in 2016, many celebrities honored Pete Burns' legacy for his unique style and fearlessness in being himself. 2. Donatella Versace. Being in the fashion industry, there's even more of an emphasis to look good than celebrities who only reserve that mindset for red carpet events and aren't particularly fashionable outside of their movies. Italian fashion designer Donatella Versace is 61 years old and is as notorious for the plastic surgery done on her face as she is for her clothing label. 1. Michael Jackson. The facial changes that legendary musical artist Michael Jackson underwent throughout the years is the most drastic and probably most well-known instances of plastic surgery ever. So much so, there's a separate Wikipedia page for his health and appearance. Aside from the obvious changes to his nose over the course of decades during his career, one of the biggest issues people had brought up with the singer's looks was his skin tone change, with Jackson often having gotten ridiculed for apparently going from black to white, which was said to be due to Jackson having the condition called vitiligo. While many took this as a desire to change his race, Jackson replied that this was in no way his intention, and said that he was proud to be who he was. For videos about living, celebrities, art, history, and everything, subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like and comment before you leave, and we'll see you next time.